Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
When you want to hear about the paranormal, you get the Spooked Girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three Spooked Girls. Stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you along with the Spooked Girls. Bring on the slaughter. We on that haunted ground. Spooked Girls. The three Spooked Girls.
Hey Spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Tara, and as always, I'm here with my girlfriend Jessica.
Hello.
Hello. And today we're bringing you another Urban Legends episode. We're going to head over to Rhode Island today. But before we do that, if you are new here, hello, welcome. Thank you for checking out the show. Returning Spooksters, welcome back. If you are not hanging out with us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all the places. You can find us. Our handle is always at Three Spooked Girls. And we have our amazing Facebook group where just spooksters hang out, and it's a happy corner of the internet, and we love it so much. That's Three Spooked Girls Official. They always get little extra perks. We like to announce stuff there first, because that was like our very first, we haven't really talked about this in a while. This was our very first like legit social media community, I would say. So it's always been very near and dear to our heart. And I always love when I see people be like, you guys just talk about it. You convinced me. I have to. And I'm like, good. Welcome.
I mean, if you're using Facebook for anything other than groups, I don't know what you're using Facebook for. I don't understand. Facebook and groups is just what I use. At least that's what I use it for.
No, same.
And I join new ones all the time. In fact, I just joined a Cult of Ghostface Facebook group.
Ooh, fun.
And I love ours because it's so I love the environment that's in there.
It's just so nice.
Yeah, everyone's like really sweet and kind in there. And something that happened this last week that just like made my heart melt was that one of our like longtime listeners, her name is Shannon, posted about like she was taking this dog to the vet and how it was like so upset and making other dogs upset. And then they listened to the podcast and the dog like calmed down to our voices. And I was like, I have never been more honored in my life than the fact that I soothed a dog.
Right.
And I was like, this is great. Like now I literally at work, I was like, I don't care if anyone ever listens again. The fact that a dog listened to me and loved it, I've won life. I did.
I made it.
Are there animals just out there listening to us? Because Tara knows we both love animals so much. So be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Other animals listen to me. You should listen to me. When I say get off the counter, get off the counter.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I know, it's so great. So definitely join us over there. And if you are a reader, we have a book club. It is Spookster Literary Society. As always, everything is linked down in the show notes for you. And if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Three Spooked Girls or the show notes as well. We do all kinds of extra content over there, different kind of content. And for as little as $1, you get one bonus episode a month. 5 and up get ad-free episodes, and all kinds of cool stuff happens over there. And we're a tad more silly with some of our topics and our things. We last month for our alt tier, we did Mad Libs, which was so fun. We've recapped Lifetime movies, all kinds of stuff. It's great. So check it out. But with that, we'll go ahead and get into our urban legends or ghosties for today. So the first one we have is the ghost of Dolly Cole who wanders the woods. This is described to be one of the saddest urban legends to come from this state. So Dolly Cole was a sex worker who had a penchant for wearing men's clothing. When she was alive, Dolly was rumored to be a witch, of course, because, you know, that's what they fucking did, who lived outside of Foster, Rhode Island. And in an attempt to rid themselves of the blight on their town, because that's what they described her as, some people from the village burned down her home, but they didn't kill her. It's worse. I mean, it's bad either way, but it killed her only child. The fire did. And they didn't stop there. They went on a full hunt for Dolly. They found her in the middle of the woods hiding, and they murdered her right on the spot, and she was only 27 years old. Now, the reason why Dolly is still known today is lots of hunters, fishermen, hikers, people who go to this area of the woods have said that they have seen a woman entity walking around in men's clothing. So that makes me very sad. And I hope it's not one of those situations where she's like looking for her baby, because that always breaks my heart so much. But that's kind of my theory.
Right. One of the newest trends, I don't say it's new, but like one of the trends I see a lot on TikTok and like Instagram now is that why have we normalized burning witches, not the people who burn them?
Yeah.
Why was this socially acceptable for these like villagers to burn her house down, kill her baby, and then kill her, and then probably go off and have a beer to celebrate their win over the evil?
Oh, you know, they got drunk after. Like, it's so mind-blowing and so gross. I hate it. Now, our next one is a familiar topic. OGs will remember her. It is Mercy Brown. And if you don't know who she is, we talked about this so long ago now. We talked about this on our Don't Go Chasing Vampires episode, which was episode 75. And we also recorded it right before we went to She Podcasts in 2019. So like literally like right before. So that's episode 75 with the published date of October 14th, 2019, which is fucking nuts. I'm like, what the fuck? So if you are unfamiliar, vampires were a huge deal in Rhode Island. So like everyone talks about the witches and stuff, but Rhode Island was also about this whole vampire panic situation, right? The locals believed that Mercy Brown was responsible for the deaths of 2 members of her family who died of consumption before she died of the same illness. Basically, the vampire part of it comes into play because Mercy's father, who was a doctor, exhumed her body along with those of his wife and son, the other ones that passed. Apparently, the reason she's a vampire is because they found, quote, fresh blood in her heart, which is like so stupid. And I'm like, wait, didn't she like just die?
But she was buried.
It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. Y'all are fucking stupid, but you know, they didn't know, I guess, but fuck them.
I mean, this was not modern times.
No, but still, it's just awful. And to this day, people visit her grave. This is located in Exeter, Rhode Island. People who have went there have said they have felt a chill when they stand near the headstone. And it's also been reported that you can see the ghost of Mercy walking through the cemetery on a moonlit night.
Are you sure it's a ghost? It's not just her vampire self?
Oh, yes. Could be. Maybe she's just like bebopping around. Who knows? All right, so now we have the Lad School. So this is also in Exeter. The Lad School was a, quote, fly-by-the-night hospital meant to house about 100 patients. But like most stuff long time ago, everything's overpopulated because there wasn't regulations and all that shit. So they went from 100 to over 300 before building a couple more structures in order to house around 1,000 people. But that wasn't even done until 1950. Like a lot of these facilities and stuff, of course, there's a lot of ghosts because of a lot of death. And unfortunately, at this location, there are stories of patient assault and multiple deaths in this building. And people who have visited the Lad School have reported seeing shadowy figures from across the lawn, having items knocked out of their hands, hearing growling noises when no animals are present, and car radios suddenly going haywire when they draw near to the hospital, which we know when there's a very heavy paranormal, presence, it's like the whole magnetic field starts fucking with like everything, with lights, radios, the whole 9. It's crazy. There's a lot of little places here in this tiny, tiny state that are like super haunted. My heart is just like, it hurts when learning about, these hospitals, these asylums and things like that, because it's like these victims were treated so disgustingly horribly that it's awful. It just sucks. It's so awful. So I'm never shocked when I hear that's like, oh, such and such asylum. Like, yeah, think we expect that by now. I think I'd be shocked if there was one that wasn't haunted.
Like if there was just like a really well-run asylum that like treated people great and people were like, I don't want to get better because life is great here. And like, it's like Pudding Cup Thursday, you know?
So our next one is called The Monkey Man Creeps Around Tower Hill Road.
Ooh.
So Monkey Man, love it. Tower Hill Road is near Cumberland, Rhode Island. It's described as a catch-all for spooky sightings that happen in the witching hour as you drive through the winding roads filled with dead trees and unholy fog. I'm like, wow, way to set the scene. Okay. The strangest sightings on Tower Hill Road have been the ghosts of children who seem to play on the road and something called the Monkey Man, as I mentioned earlier. The Monkey Man has been seen by a total of 5 people between the 1970s and 2003. Rather than being a Bigfoot, because that's where my mind eventually went, it's actually believed that the Monkey Man was a being who can jump between dimensions, which, oh my God, isn't that so fucking funny?
Oh, that is interesting.
Everything's tight. I didn't do this on purpose. We recorded something else and like a bunch of stuff's tying in and we're just keep going like, oh yeah.
Right.
You guys will see later. You will see later. But people have a theory that he's drawn to this area because there's a lot of quartz around.
Oh,
Which I'm like, I can get down with that.
Yeah.
I could be baited with some crystals. Okay.
I get it.
Just trying to live his best life. Love it. Now, our next place is called Devil's Foot Rock. So, according to legend, there is a set of footprints. One of them a goat hoof and the other one a human footprint, like of a man. And this is what gives the area its name. So the story behind how those prints got there is that they came from when a young Native American woman murdered a white man near Wickford, Massachusetts, and attempted to escape to only be caught by an English gentleman. As she cried out for Hobomoko to save her, her attacker revealed, I'm Hobomoko, and then dropping the disguise, the devil grabbed her by her waist, stamped the ground fiercely, and flew with her to Purgatory Chasm, plunging her into the turbulent waters. Well, damn. That just sounds like a lot of bad luck.
Yeah. I like that she was like, help me, devil. And the devil's like, haha.
Guess again, motherfucker. It's like our Greek mythology episode you just did. Like, you can't trust the devil. Unless it benefits him, it ain't benefiting you. So this is located in Newport, Rhode Island. And then you can go check out Belcourt Castle. The castle was built in 1891. The building was officially finished, though, in 1895. And the castle was meant to house Oliver Hazard Perry Belmont's collection of armor. In addition to that, there was also medieval manuscripts, stained glass, and a number of things related to his love of horses, which is like, yeah, the accessories for that are huge, so that would make sense to store them there. After Oliver died in 1903 and his wife passed away in 1933, the house fell into a state of mild disrepair and became rumored to be haunted by the many antiques that still live in this castle. One piece of furniture to mention is said that it is the screaming suit of armor and that it populates one of the Gothic ballrooms and is known to shriek only 1 month a year during March, the entire month of March. And people think maybe this is because that was the month the person that last wore the suit died and their spirit, because they died in this suit of armor. So maybe it stayed attached to this. Can you just imagine like it being like you forget it's March or you don't even know that fact and you're just walking through and then you just hear a scream in the same room like that? Oh my God. This entity, I'm convinced, is like just mischievous and wanting to troll people. And maybe there's like some kind of portal that only time that they get enough energy, or they have to conserve their energy. I love how I'm making this up. And how they conserve their energy for a whole year so they can fucking scream bloody murder and scream as loud as they can to scare people during March. That's what I think.
You know the show Ghosts?
Yeah.
You know like how there's the teenage ghost
Mm-hmm.
and she's only awake for like a month a year?
Yeah.
Maybe the ghost is a teenage ghost and sleeps most of the time.
Ah. Could be. I mean, yeah, like what they were sending like back way back in the day, like they would send people to war like you didn't have to be 18, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, crazy. Well, that is going to go ahead and wrap this episode up for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about some Rhode Island urban legends. I thought it was cool because they had quite the array, and I think the Screaming Suit of Armor is my favorite out of that, just saying. But with that, we'll go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Toodles.